This program is proudly brought to you by Puma Energy and proudly supported by BSB, official sponsor of the 2015 Pacific Games, and New Guinea, exclusive carrier for the 2015 Pacific Games. Good evening and welcome to the premiere episode of The Road to Port Moresby 2015. Being the preparatory year for the Games, there is a real sense of excitement in the capital.
Oh yes, there's definitely excitement. One can just drive around town and see a whole new city emerge with all the new facilities coming up. Port Moresby is at the threshold of unprecedented change.
The Games have definitely come a long way. Let us look back and take a glimpse of the previous Games. Kindling friendship by bringing about a confluence of cultures and meeting of minds and interests among the sovereign nations in the South Pacific region is what led to the birth of the South Pacific Games. The South Pacific Commission founded the first South Pacific Games in 1962 to promote and develop sport exclusively for the nations of the region and its people without any barriers of race, color or politics.
What a big start from the mother of Papua New Guinea sport. And she's looking very strong as she takes the bend with 100 meters to go. She has cut them to pieces. It's coming on into the 100 meters mark. Yamalana's in front, combining the Fijian in third place in lane one. Tahitian in fourth. But Yamalana is absolutely cut this race up. She is going to take this race very comfortably, slowing down to the line to bring it back into contention in the women's heptathlon. Binding second, Fiji third, Tahiti fourth, and fifth, and sixth. What a brilliant run by Yamalana.
Much in line with the Olympics, with the spirit of friendship and sportsmanship reigning supreme, the first Games were held in 1963 at Suva, Fiji. During 1962, the South Pacific Commission founded the South Pacific Games Council, and over the next 40 years, Games have been held in 12 countries and territories within the region. The SB Games of Suva in July 2003 were the 11th South Pacific Games and the 40th anniversary Games. They were first held once every 3 years, and after the 4th South Pacific Games in Papeete, once every 4 years, with hosting rights shared across the South Pacific region ever since. With expansion and economic growth in the Pacific and Oceania countries of the Pacific Islands, the South Pacific Commission in 1998 changed its name to the Pacific Community. The South Pacific Games were also renamed the Pacific Games.
Struck it firmly.
Papua New Guinea stands apart in this history as a host to Games thrice, in 1969 in Port Moresby, 1991 in Port Moresby and Lae, and soon in 2015 in the nation's capital.
The two identical twins making their way onto the track.
Now you can see the PNG flag. Absolutely magnificent. Just lovely.
And there you have it, a proud moment for us all. Papua New Guineans, this is it. The 9th South Pacific Games are on and it's really moving. The balloons have been let loose.
There is a real sense of excitement in the capital of Papua New Guinea, Port Moresby, as it is at the threshold of unprecedented change. Billions of kina is being spent. The 2015 Games have the power to deliver lasting benefits which can considerably change a community, its image and infrastructure.
Yeah, look, sport brings our family together, it brings our community together, and it brings our country together. And in 2015, it will bring the Pacific together. And sport has never been looked at in this way before in any previous governments. And I want to thank our Prime Minister, Peter O'Neill, for backing us all the way, and especially me as the Minister for Sports, in ensuring that the Pacific Games becomes an absolute success for our country and also shows where we stand in the Pacific. This not only goes for the infrastructure that we'll be producing, which the country has putting forward nearly 1.1 billion kina, but also for the sports enhancement we are doing for our athletes through the Go to Goal program and also through the sports enhancement program, enhancing the individual sporting athletes to take them to the next level where they've never had that experience before. So for 2015 and beyond, we're looking this country is going to be a sporting nation. It's going to be something that we'll be very proud of, and this is only the beginning when it comes to sport in Papua New Guinea.
One of the greatest risks that face us is if the infrastructure projects are not completed in time for the Games. But the Minister firmly believes that all is under control in this regard.
Well, you know, I don't sleep at all. I am always concerned that we must ensure that the funding and the contractors are ensuring that they are putting the full commitment to ensure this Games is finished on time. Now, as a minister, I personally go and micromanage a lot of these issues. Go to the construction sites, talk to the contractors, talk to the people that are doing the job on the ground, making sure they are on time. Get the project managers to ensure that things are moving forward. Any problems that I can fix, get them done, get them fixed, make it happen. No time to waste time talking. Get on with the job. Let's put words into action and make it happen. That's what's happening. That's my job. That's why the Prime Minister put me there, to make sure we have a successful 2000 Pacific Games. I'm not here to waste your time or my time. I'm here to make sure our country flies high in the sky and is very proud of their achievements for 2015. The Games Village is on time to be completed by the end of March, which is fantastic. 4,500 people will be sleep there, looked after. It's world class, beautiful facilities. The indoor and outdoor stadiums at Sejong Guys will be completed on time. 25,000 seat capacity for the outdoor stadium. Hubert Murray, Lloyd Robson Oval, plus all the Bassini Parade facilities. Tarama Leisure Centre, the swimming pool, basketball, volleyball, netball. We just keep pushing, but at the end of the day it all comes to money, funding and project management and the contractor. We've gone through a tedious tender process to get the best to do the job, knowing that they will finish the job on time. All the contracts that the builders have signed for these venues are tied to performance base, meaning you don't produce a job, you don't get paid. So get the job done, get it finished on time, get paid, we're all happy and we get on with the job. But then it's not only about building these facilities, it's actually about what's going to happen after the Games. We don't want all these white elephants, meaning facilities to just sit there and rot. We want to make sure these facilities have a lasting legacy to ensure that our athletes and our people utilise these facilities to their full benefit and take them to the next level. So we, as a government, under the PNG Sports Foundation, will manage and operate and ensure that all the facilities will move on and be developed and be maintained and have big international events into the future.
"3,000 athletes, 28 different sports,
And 23 countries descending on Port Moresby. This seems to be grand.
and grand it promises to be." Let us continue with the report of the preparation for the Pacific Games.
3,000 athletes, 500 team officials and 1,000 technical officials and dignitaries from 23 neighbouring Pacific nations will descend on Port Moresby in an adrenaline-charged sporting exchange of 28 varied sports. While great emphasis has been placed on organising the Games and infrastructure, the government has time and again emphasised that of equal importance is the safety and security of our international guests. And in this regard, the government is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that safety and security measures are in place.
We have continued dialogue with the police, with the Defence Force, with all private sector, with the security companies as well, to ensure we have a plan and a project and an ambition to make this one of the safest games ever. Look, we can't promise that there won't be some issues, but I know that people will embrace the games as their own and ensure that the right thing is done. Look, Papua New Guineans need to be proud of themselves as well, that we have this opportunity to show what our country is all about. And with the police and defence working together to ensure that we have all the venues covered, our international guests looked after, and our Papua New Guinea athletes and facilities maintained and secured, that's very, very important. And I take that as a high priority in my listing to ensure that we make sure that these venues are secure for the 3 weeks of the Pacific Games.
In lighter vein, as preparations gear up, the theme song for the Games was launched last month in August, and it is said that this song is destined to become an anthem for the country, which has hosted the Pacific Games twice before. This theme song, which already seems to be a hit and has captured audiences all over the country, has in true essence captured the spirit of the Games and of sportsmanship. It is hoped that this anthem will further energize our athletes as they set out to prepare for their respective sports. Presently, a lot of our sports personalities have to seek training in other countries, and it is hoped that with the construction of the various training facilities, our athletes can train on home ground in the future.
Look, as you know, all our infrastructure and all our facilities are being developed and reconstructed, and that then allows for our athletes to travel overseas to use their facilities so they can make sure that they are ready for the Pacific Games, and this is being funded by the government to ensure that our athletes are totally individually looked after in that regard. Now, when our facilities are completed, we're going to have some of the best facilities, fitness, gymnasiums on offer that is as good as anywhere in the world. And like, for example, I'll give you an example, weightlifting. Currently, we're in New Caledonia, and Paul Coffer and his team are over there training all our athletes. Well, once the Hubert Murray Stadium is built and the new weightlifting centre is completed, there's no need for them to be in New Caledonia. We can bring Paul Coffer and all the team here to Papua New Guinea to be the weightlifting centre of the Pacific. Same with athletes in track and field, same with athletes in boxing, same with athletes in many other sports, because our facilities will be as good as what they're training on overseas. So it's only bringing them back home once the facilities are all completed after 2015, and we look forward to that lasting legacy of those facilities enhancing the sporting abilities of our prime athletes and making them world champions.
If personal pride, a stellar resume and job security aren't enough incentives in themselves, the government will support by further ensuring there are great incentives for athletes who win medals for PNG at the Pacific Games.
Watching the television, this man's out here. If he lifts this, he is the champion. If he misses it, it goes to Australia.
What a fight. Wow, that was the most spectacular lift of the day so far.
And the champion of 94 kilos is simply...
The Commonwealth Games incentives were done to ensure people know their government is right behind them. The incentive is there not to be used just as a free bonus, but is also to improve themselves. The 100,000 kina for gold for Dika and Stephen is there for their future of being even bigger superstars than they already are, for their training, for their family, and for their well-being. I know Stephen is investing that money in a fund for his future. He's investing that for himself after weightlifting. And Dika the same. They're being smart about it. They're not wasting it on something nothing. For the Pacific Games, there will be an incentive. Not as much as the Commonwealth Games, because we set our standards. We have Pacific Games here, Commonwealth Games, and then the Olympics. We have to balance it out. But there will be a significant amount of funding given to those that get gold medals, silver and bronze in the Pacific Games, because we want to recognise the efforts and contribution of our athletes from Papua New Guinea that participate in the Pacific Games and say to them, well done. Congratulations on all your hard work and initiative that you've put in over many, many years to become a gold medalist of the Pacific Games, because that will then take them to the next level. So our government is very, very concerned and wants to make sure that our athletes know that we're right behind them, we're right behind the sporting codes, and our Prime Minister wants to make sure as well that they know our government is right behind them as well.
The Pacific Games recently launched their official song, We Are Heroes. Lorraine, you interviewed Peter Stewart right after the launch.
Yes, I did. I had a good chat with Peter Stewart on a number of things relating to the Games. Here's a look at that. Mr. Stewart, thank you very much for your time today. Now, I wanted to speak about Wednesday night's event. It did mark a milestone and, as you said, gave a bit of a sneak peek into the Games.
Lorraine, it's great to be with you. Yes, it was a great night. We had a lot of our sponsors there, and it gave them an opportunity to just have a little bit of a sneak peek at our theme song for the Games, We Are Heroes. It's a process that we went through. We went to a whole range of local performers and asked them to put together demo tapes. These were provided to a committee that looks at these types of things. They made a recommendation to the board of the organising committee, and in the end, Honley Isaac, who is the lead singer of Jokima, he came up with a fantastic song that we think epitomises what the games are all about.
Now, the game certainly, the song rather, certainly helps build up that momentum, and it has gone out and a lot of people are certainly excited. There was another event that actually happened on the night, which was a big announcement as well, EMTV as the lead broadcaster for the Pacific Games.
Yes, we're going to have perhaps the best broadcast that's ever been done for a Pacific Games, and it's going to be spread throughout the Pacific and the rest of the world. But here in Papua New Guinea, EMTV is the lead broadcaster for the national rights. They are together with Click, and we're going to see probably the most amount of local coverage of all Papua New Guineans competing in the games that's ever been seen at a Pacific Games before, and we're very excited to have EMTV as part of the team.
Now, they do have the exclusive rights for the opening and closing ceremony, and Makota is on board as the producer. Yes,
Makota is a team that's been put together. It comprises two local producers in Tanya Nugent and Eri Ingram, and they've joined forces with two very experienced international producers in Miriam Hughes and Nigel Jamieson. And so they bring the experience of having worked on some of the biggest opening and closing ceremonies over the last decade. The Sydney Olympics, Manchester Commonwealth Games, Melbourne Commonwealth Games, and the Vancouver Winter Olympics. So we've really got a fantastic team of people who are going to deliver an opening and closing ceremony that all of Papua New Guinea will be very proud of.
Now that that's done and mentioned, I spoke to Minister for Sports, Justin Chichenko, and he did mention a little bit about the safety and security of the Games, and obviously that is the #1 concern with all athletes.
Yes, it's disappointing when I travel around the Pacific and talk to all of our teams that one of the first things they ask me about is it going to be safe for us to bring our teams here? And all I tell them is, I live here, I live in Port Moresby, and I assure them that it's going to be very safe. We have a fantastic team led by the Royal Constabulary here, and we have a team of people who are putting together all of the security arrangements for the Games. And we have assured every one of the teams, that their athletes, their team officials, their friends and family who come and visit, they will have a safe and really entertaining and fun time here in Port Moresby in 2015.
Moving on to venues, the Games Village has really taken shape and a lot of the venues are looking almost complete.
Yes, the venues are very close to complete. We are very happy with how progress is going. And I know that our athletes are very excited about the opportunity to compete in what will be world-class venues during the 2015 Pacific Games. The village has come on in leaps and bounds, and we're certainly very pleased to have that progressing well. We brought out all of the team officials to have a look at the village during the General Assembly in July. They were very excited by the resources and the facilities that were going to be provided for the teams, and everyone's looking forward to coming here in July 2015.
Are there any challenges that the Pacific Games Organising Committee are faced with, and if so, how are you looking to execute those challenges?
A project of this size and this magnitude always has challenges, Lorraine, and we meet all of them head on and we deal with them as we come across them. A number of key things have been ticked off from our point of view, certainly having our Games producers on board, the theme song. We have a team in place at the moment, over 50 working in the Games office, so a lot of those things have been put to the side. We've developed a partnership with a number of key organisations, including BSP, our official sponsor. So the basis is there for us to springboard into the end of 2014 and the beginning of 2015 to deliver all the other elements of the Games. And some of the big announcements that we'll be making later on are our volunteer program. and the opportunity for over 2,000 Papua New Guineans to get involved in the Games as volunteers. We'll be launching some merchandise just prior to the Christmas period, so there'll be the opportunity for you to buy some Games items for Christmas. And early in the new year we'll be releasing ticket sales, and we have over 300,000 tickets available for sale for the Games, and we're looking forward to being able to provide an opportunity for anybody who wants to come and watch some of the best athletes in the world performing. They'll have a chance to buy tickets. And perhaps on that, it's interesting to note that the Pacific nations performed exceptionally well at the Commonwealth Games, and we obviously had our 2 gold medalists from Papua New Guinea, but a number of the other nations had medalists as well. So what it shows is, in some sports in particular, some of the best athletes in the world will be coming to our Games in July.
Apart from these announcements, are there any other developments to come within the next few months?
Well, we'll be releasing the medal design, so you'll have an opportunity to see what the athletes who win medals at the Games, what they'll be wearing around their neck. We have a number of initiatives that are going on at the moment to engage the community. Many of you would know about Tura's tour all around the nation. Tura has just come back from 3 weeks in the Highlands, absolutely exhausted, but had a fantastic time. Tura was telling me that everywhere he went he was mobbed by people, not just children. It never ceases to amaze me that while we always knew Tura would be a great hit with all of the kids, the parents loved Tura as well, and Tura made a number of stops at local shows, but also in hospitals and schools and a number of our sponsors' places of work. So Tura has been a great hit wherever he goes. He's back for a little bit of a break here for a couple of weeks in Port Moresby, and then he'll be off again to do the next round of cultural festivals. So you'll see plenty of Tura both in the media and around, hopefully somewhere near where you live.
Now, these games are expected to be bigger and better, especially with all the developments in place and yet to come. Mr. Stewart, thank you very much for your time today. I very much so appreciate it.
You're more than welcome, Lorraine. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's all we have for you for the premiere episode of Road to Port Moresby 2015. We hope you've enjoyed it.
We will be back with more in a fortnight. Good night and have a pleasant evening. This program was proudly brought to you by Puma Energy and proudly supported by BSB, official sponsor of the 2015 Pacific Games, Air New Guinea, exclusive carrier for the 2015 Pacific Games.